When you go to Washington, D.C. these days, and you pull into Reagan Airport, do you know what you first see when you get off your plane? Big, big posters, Fly Qatar Airlines. It's all over the airports in Maryland, in Washington. It's a big deal. Their buildings are all over Washington, D.C., and so are their people. Why is that? 2011, Qatar starts shipping arms into Libya to help fight Gaddafi. Gaddafi has his own stockpiles of weapons. But somehow, as they were overthrowing Gaddafi, looters started getting into the stockpiles and were sending them through northern Africa and to places like the Sinai, which are now in Gaza. Who knew about this? John Brennan, because the United States was involved with overthrowing Gaddafi. 20,000 surface-to-air missiles that were Eastern European and Russian ended up in West Africa and then ended up into the tunnels into Gaza. Phase 2 of this operation, after Gaddafi was down, there was still a lot of scattering of weapons. And they went out of Russia, out of Libya. They went into Libya and then they went out, and openly allies with Syria. And we believe that they are also, more weapons have gotten into Gaza that way. The entire administration knows this, and we believe that the Speaker of the House knows this as well. And so when we do not get the information we need on Benghazi, even through the Freedom of Information Act and Trey Gowdy's ability to get this information, may be stymied by the fact that Secretary Boehner is also complicit in this issue. He is such a thug. It was just reported this week that Anwar al-Sharia was in the neighborhood of Benghazi. Let me tell you something else. How many of you know who was in the White House who is related to Hamas and Hezbollah? Do you know their names? There are 6 people. Arif Al-Akam, Assistant Secretary of Homeland Security for Policy Development. Mohammed El-Biari, a member of the Homeland Security Advisory Council. Rashid Hussain, the U.S. Special Envoy to the Organization of the Islamic Conference. Salam al-Maradi, co-founder of the Muslim Public Affairs Council. Imam Mohad Magib, president of the Islamic Society of North America, direct ties to Muslim Brotherhood. And Ibo Patel, a member of the President Obama's Advisory Council on Faith-Based Neighborhood Partnerships. In the White House, high levels of Homeland Security. Mohammed Magid, the president of ISNA, and that is the Islamic Society of North America, is Sudanese by birth and a naturalized citizen. He is a senior Homeland Advisor to President Obama. Mohammed El-Biari was just given a higher position last August. He tweeted out, Muslim Brotherhood, the hand of the Muslim Brotherhood. Do you all know who the Muslim Brotherhood is by now? It is the Sunni force that was founded in 1928. It is the mother lode. It is the umbrella organization for the Muslim Brotherhood terrorist organization. Hassan al-Banna is the founder. He met with Adolf Hitler before World War II. And the largest organization in America of Muslim Brotherhood entities is the Muslim Student Association on every college campus in America. They are more membership than even the Democrats have. And they are in Charleston, in every college campus, absolutely penetrated. In this book, and I think it's on page 102, I have it somewhere, is the map of what we have found out to be There was a trial in America called the Holy Land Foundation trial, which uncovered a nonprofit organization funneling money to terrorist entities. And Steve Emerson and I worked for Steve Emerson at the time. Through those documents, we have the tentacles, and we understand that the Islamic Society of North America, Muslim Brotherhood Association, everything is in here, Student Association across America, and the advisors to the president, who they belong to. CARE, the Council of Arab Islamic Relations, wants you to know it's a social justice organization, but they are the unindicted co-conspirators of the Holy Land Foundation trial, the largest trial in America of terror funding overseas, which was a nonprofit organization and got nonprofit status in the United States. Are you angry? I have a little bit more. Can you hang with me just for a little bit more?
Absolutely.
Middle East. Let's go to the Middle East. Syria. John McCain. Senator Lindsey Graham. Obama supported a group called the Free Syrian Army. And while we analysts were very, very angry about the Free Syrian Army, we knew it was Al-Qaeda and Muslim Brotherhood, and President Barack Obama wanted to send them weapons and money. Lindsey Graham and John McCain went and offered their support to the Free Syrian Army. I have been here in South Carolina before, and I said to you, the next time you see Lindsey Graham in a town hall, make sure you know more than he does, because he is counting on you knowing nothing, or knowing what he says on Greta Wire, and that is his speak, quote unquote. You need to come to him. You need to read my newsletters. You need to understand what he does and what he says might be two different things. He is a strong supporter of Israel, but for some reason, the two amigos walk hand in hand. And I'm here to tell you that my Senator John McCain is not such a nice guy. And why Lindsey Graham attaches himself to John McCain is beyond me. I have my suspicions, but I won't say it in public. Here's another story you won't hear anywhere else. Third debate, Lynn University. Mitt Romney gets asked, weeks before the election, we fed him, Claire fed him, we all fed Mitt Romney the information on Benghazi. He knew what we knew. And when the moderator said, what do you want to go, let's go to Benghazi and talk, and he had Barack Obama right in front of him. He could have called Barack out right then and there. Debate number 3. All the analysts were connected by cell phone, waiting to hear what Romney would say. He had pages and pages and pages of intelligence by Waleed Faris, by Claire Lopez, by many of us. And he said, well, I am here to tell you that I'm a businessman and I'm going to improve the economy. And he was given a directive by John McCain's people, the communication people, not to talk about Benghazi. Are we going to let that happen again in 2016?
No.
Let's talk about the Bible Belt. How many of you know where York County is? Okay. How far is York County from here?
45 minutes.
All right. I got something to tell you, ladies and gentlemen. Islamville, South Carolina, unincorporated community founded by Ali Gilani, a branch of the Muslims for America, Pakistani, Sufis. They're in Tennessee. 2 in Georgia near Fort Stewart, 1 in New York. Islamville is a commune run by Muslims of America, headquartered in Islamburg, New York. Islamville is also home to an international Quran Open University, a branch of Muslims of America. These organizations are led by radical Pakistani cleric Sheikh Mubarak Ali Gilani. The Islamville website boasts that it houses the very first Islamic shrine in America. A secret tape by Gilani in Pakistan in the 80s instructs viewers to contact his offices in the U.S. for one of the most advanced training courses in Islamic military warfare. He mentions South Carolina as one location. It's 45 minutes away from our lunch. You didn't know that, did you? Have your mouths dropped yet? When I was here, I have been trying to launch the South Carolina Initiative for National Security Matters for 18 months. And who said the time is now? We are living in the time now. I have been trying to do it with my team, Melissa and Mary, everybody who is here with me. And it just seems now is the time, and your hearts and your minds are open to this message. But when I was here 18 months ago, I was on the ground in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, 24 hours, and I walked into a store and saw women in burqa and hijab. And I'm thinking, I always call Mount Pleasant the home of the Stepford wives. I mean, they are, it's like it's so sterile, you know, it's so beautiful. You don't see anything. I come to find out that there is a clinic in Mount Pleasant called Shifa Clinic. Shifa in Arabic means healing. In Gaza today, the Shifa Clinic is launching rockets into Israel. On their website, it says, facilitated, funded, and managed by ICNA. ICNA is the Islamic Circle of North America. It is also Pakistani, radical imam in Queens, and this book talks about it, and this book talks about it, exactly what they are doing. John Guandola says there were many documents in Switzerland that were found 6 weeks after 9/11, and you've heard it maybe on Glenn Beck, called The Project, that their goal in Sunni Islam, the nonviolent, the stealth jihadists, are to come into your community and very quietly infiltrate and penetrate. And in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, they're using their clinic, giving backpacks to children, giving free injections and penicillin and medicine to the African American community. And that is the first line of indoctrination, radicalization, and what else? Submission. But it's also conversion. Because when they go into those clinics, they are being treated by women and men who are Islamists. I got the next shocker. Please hold your seats. Nobody in South Carolina ever thought to find out what ICNA stood for or to do this research. So Blue Cross Blue Shield of South Carolina gave them $5.2 million. My friend and my first boss in national security, Stephen Emerson, writes this about ICNA. ICNA doesn't just believe that religion is a private affair. It extends beyond the individual and family and into the society, state, and world. ICNA's charter is even more explicit. It calls for the establishment of the Islamic system of life in the world, whether it pertains to beliefs, rituals, and morals, to the economic, social, and political spheres. They have a handbook. You can get it online. They run the clinic. Pakistanis in Mount Pleasant. Everybody's having interfaith dialogue in Charleston. Now they opened in Columbia. Islamville in York County. Come on, South Carolina. Where are your House representatives? We have a few sitting with us here today. We have got to let them, these are not pleasant things to talk about, but if we don't talk about them, we're going to be fighting them one way or another, either through conversion or submission, or they are going to try to bring Sharia and attack our Constitution, and to that end we fight them with lawfare by passing American laws for American courts in South Carolina, so we can never, ever, ever impact our Constitution Constitution and their rights. And we will talk about that later. And Scott and I have been working on that. American laws for American courts have been passed in how many states? 7 states. Not here in South Carolina. They are here to manifest their way, their Sharia beliefs on you, and they do it in the Bible Belt, and they do it so because they are new, they are emboldened, and if they can capture you here and have your Presbyterians and your Methodists and your Baptist pastors talk to them in interfaith dialogue, and they go away, and all the pastors and the rabbis and everybody, oh, they're such peaceful people, oh, they just want peace, oh, let's open our arms, oh, real Southern hospitality, let's invite them in and give them some sweet tea. And before you know it, they got Sharia law on the books. In my town of Phoenix, Arizona, Al-Shabaab has a community, and they want only Somali policemen to monitor their community. And this is what's happened in Dearborn that now we call Dearbornistan. Phoenix is now Phoenixstan. Minneapolis people have people from Al-Shabaab going back to Syria to fight, going back to Sudan, Somalia to fight. And guess what? While you're at it, South Carolina, right here in Greenville, you have a Gulen school. Fethullah Gulen, the Turks, who just today told El Al that Israelis who are absolutely staying in Turkey today have no way to get out. They will not let El Al fly in and out of Turkey. You have a sheriff in this state who went to Turkey with a delegation last year, free, paid trips. You have people and members of your legislative bodies who have been asked, go to Turkey, learn about our math and science schools. We pay them, they're charter schools. Then they come to your state houses and they say to you, can you please fund, we have the best schools in the country, 147 of them. Look at our statistics, look at how great they are. And then they don't hire Americans. They bring Turks in, Turkish Islamists, to teach your children. Another line of infiltration, penetration. You have one right here. I can't remember what street it's on, but it's called, there you go. It's called the Greenville Green School, Green Charter School. State's paying for it. They got your kids. While we're at it, let's talk about Common Core. Common Core is a national security threat. It is the first, you are relinquishing your children and grandchildren to the public school system that is being run by socialists, communists, Maoists, progressives who are taking your children and rewriting history. The AP books in this country, advanced placement books for high school students, do not talk about the Holocaust. Rewrite history. We have that. That is Bill Ayers. That is the Friends of Barack Obama, and they're being funded. Allah is our goal. The messenger is our guide. The Quran is our law. Jihad is our means, and martyrdom is the way. They will come into your community. They will talk Sharia, but they will do it in a peaceful way, as if it's kumbaya, and that is what is called taqiyya. The FBI has purged their books. No longer does it say jihad in Islam. So if you get into trouble here, if I get into trouble, I'm not calling the FBI. The borders are open. 66,000 people. Not all of them are children. Common Core is here. Israel is sitting on the front lines. What are we going to do? Don't be depressed. Get up off your seats and get busy. I'm going to conclude. I am the only person in America that has made the decision to give up a career in public relations and fundraising to go on the campaign trail and to tell as many people as I can what is happening in their town. Call me crazy. I'm the only Jew in America doing this in my own name. I hope I have my head. I know I will do my best. I keep a 38 under my pillow at night. I am a single woman. I have 2 children. But I know that this is the last hurrah. I have started the National Security Communication Task Force, and I will teach each one of you how to get on Twitter in another name if you choose. I will get you on Twitter rallies. I will get you on Facebook. I will come to your homes. I will speak to your friends. And I will tell you this, that in April of 1945, there was a man, and his name was Vincent. And he was in France, and he was fighting, and he was told he had to cross the Rhine and go into Germany because there were a POW camp of Soviets, of Russians, that needed to be freed. And when he got there, he opened the gates with Eisenhower and Bradley, and he saw stars that said Yud. And they immediately, as they were marching in, smelled something that smelled like dead meat in the town. And they said to everyone, "What is that smell?" The soldiers said, "What is that smell?" And the villagers had no clue. He went in, and Eisenhower said, "We're getting y'all cameras, and you record this for history, because someday there will be someone else doing this. Don't let history tell you you didn't see this." That man was my father, and he was the first liberator to open up the first gate of a subcamp of Buchenwald. And his name was Vincent Pandone, and he is chronicled in the Holocaust Museum. And with me today are one packet of his pictures that he took that day. The rest are in Washington, D.C. And before he died, he said to me, "You're a Jewish woman, I'm an Italian man. I came back from the war, I married a Jewish woman, you're a mom. You're raising Jewish children. Do not end up in a pile of rubble. Do not give in, do not give up, and fight on." And fight on I do. There is much more that I can say to you, including that we are about to give $47 million to Hamas, but our government is also giving $600 million to Israel. I ask you to please remember these words. They are the words of the Israeli people in their national anthem. The national anthem of Israel is called Tikva, and it means hope. And even through World War II and losing 6 million people, we always had Tikva, we had our hope, and we had our Torah. They may have tried to kill us, but we are still here. And I am here representing the state of Israel and my proud father, who was a great patriot. As long as the Jewish spirit is yearning deep in the heart, with eyes turned east toward Zion, there is our hope, and the 2,000-year-old hope will never be lost. I ask you to all stand as we conclude this, and I ask my team to come around me right now. And Cheryl, and if you have a good voice, I really would appreciate you coming here. I would like to conclude this, and I hope that you all stay and talk to me and buy our books and support. We have no other means of support except by what you do here today. Can you start this, please, Mary? My right arm here?
No.
Let's start with God. Let's end with God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
God bless you all. God bless you. Please join the task force. Please join me in my effort. Make my daddy proud that I'm doing the right thing. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Yes. If you have any answer them.
Linda's gonna be coming around, if everybody can sit back down.
Q&A?
That's what we're doing.
Okay.
That's what we're doing now.
Are there any questions?
If you can sit down, we'll take some questions.
And then I'll sign some books for you.
If everybody can sit down, we'll take some questions for Lisa, and then she'll sit over here and sign the books for you. Well, I know we have a couple of people who have questions. I don't hear you.
No.
I just wanted to make everyone aware that there is a Muslim center off of Brushy Creek Road, near the airport, near the railway lines, on Anderson Road off of Brushy Creek Road. There is a Muslim center off of Alexander, I'm sorry, not Anderson, Alexander Road. Close to Carrollwood Family.
Now, your responsibility, ma'am, is to, and this group, as part of the National Security Communication Team, we have done a white paper for all of you. We've done the first part. Now it's up to the community to help me come together, do the research on the imams. Once I have who is running these centers, and I do the research with my analysts, then I am able to go to the city council, and I'm able to go to the state legislature, and we are able to stop any outside funding. So I encourage you to please sign the roster in the back. Let me know your email addresses so I can get you all involved. Because just telling this group without acting, without having leadership and direction, will never stop this from happening. They'll mow you over. We have the experience to know how to stop it, and I thank you so very much. Next question? I need that information, please make it to me. I need a team of people. Tara will also be taking your names. We need to have a delegation in Greenville, in Columbia, in Charleston, because we know from how to stop this, how to stop the ingress and regress of the zoning when they go to the zoning commission. And we will get American laws for American courts, because we are the only mobilization in South Carolina. And while we are at it, we are going to get your state grids protected so you are never in the dark. Bob?
Well, I'd like to know how you can stop South Carolina Blue Cross Blue Shield and awaken these people with this $5 million that they've given or whatever.
You want to know something? God is so good. On the plane over here, the accountant who manages that foundation was sitting next to me. I didn't invite him here today. I thought it would be too much for him, but I will circle back with him. And we will go as a group to Blue Cross Blue Shield. Lisa Benson is not going. Lisa Benson is going with the State House representatives. We will have a meeting and we will connect the dots for them.
Debbie Spock.
I just read in Canada Free Press, if you don't read it every day, you're missing out. In Canada, there is a parallel Sharia-compliant economic system being developed.
Yeah.
Do we have that here now? Is that being worked on?
We have many of your banks have sheiks on them. That's a whole other lecture. When I come back, we'll talk about it. It's called Sharia finance. And we talk about it in this book. Now, this book is a compilation. I'm on page 72 talking about Benghazi. But every bank in America has sheiks sitting at the top. Qatar, you know, is funding many of your representatives in Washington, funneling money into D.C., pro-Muslim Brotherhood. We got serious problems, ladies and gentlemen. We got serious problems from the top to the bottom, from the bottom to the top, everywhere around us. I want you to know that they are counting on you to be stupid. Are you going to be stupid? No. Are you going to stick with me? Yeah. Because I got it going, baby.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you all noticed how old I am? I got to tell you, I am no spring chicken. Hey, how are you, my love?
I have two questions.
Okay, Peggy.
Is there anybody in this room can tell me about this green school? Because I've been told it is a Muslim charter school, and it's up on College Road. And I've driven by there, but It just says the Green Charter School.
Peggy, I'm going to tell you, honey, it's Fethullah Gulen. He is the leader living in the Catskills, and he is an Islamist who has coerced his way into state legislators across this country, convincing